Hello, this is Brother Teacher again. I would like to give my perspective on what makes for a good martial arts instructor or master instructor in the martial arts. And it's really simple. Uh, there are certain qualities that an individual must possess as an instructor. Note the operative word, instructor. When you're teaching people something such as martial arts, which is steeped in the concept of the philosophy of discipline, you have to be an example of that. You can't, for example, be a martial arts instructor and you're quick to be angry. You can't be a martial arts instructor when you can't teach different types of individuals. You can't be a martial arts instructor if you have limited or no patience for people. You can't be a martial arts instructor if you can't teach adults and children martial arts. I found this to be very evident in my coming up as a martial artist, where there are many instructors or people who call themselves instructors that they're one-sided. There's certain aspect of instructorship, if you will, that they acclimate towards. For example, there are instructors that want to teach only adults, but they have children in their classes as well. And I think you can pretty much sum it up that it's about money at the end of the day. But they just don't want to deal with children because children require a little bit more special attention. They are antsy, or can be. They are very hyper sometimes and active. And you just have to have a special talent to deal with children. So, as I always say in my class, and my students can attest to this, I have children and adults in my class simultaneously, at the present anyway. And I always tell my senior students, everyone must be fed. In other words, the kids can't run over the class and start playing, number one. And you cannot focus more on the adults because they understand better on your level and dismiss the fact that the children are there. Everyone must be fed. You have to become a master of how to medi out the proper instruction to a mixed audience. And if you can't do that, you really need to question your ability to teach as an instructor. Now, of course, we all know if you have the children in an environment alone, you're going to get the greatest response and or results. And the same thing is true with adults. If you have just adults, you're going to get the greatest response and or results, because those are people who fundamentally can understand what you're saying and follow instructions, hopefully well. So those are a couple of examples of good instructors, being able to deal with children and adults and people who have disabilities. A good instructor should understand that if a person comes in and they have a knee problem, a hip problem, or a problem with any joints, or they have let's say that they're asthmatic, for example, they have to pick up an inhaler sometimes because they hyperventilate or they're allergic to something. Those types of situations, you have to be open to that. You have to be kind, considerate, courteous, and understanding. Now, with all of that said, this is another quality or value that an instructor, a good instructor, should have, is this. You have to, in all of your firmness, learn to be understanding and learn to still be humble. People can see it. You can still be humble and have a firm hand as an instructor. You don't have to be a dictator. Your students will follow you, but one of the key elements to your students following you is to establish the groundwork when they first walk into your school and they sign up. Let them know who you are and what you expect of them in kind but firm ways. But what you shouldn't do Don't play with them. That's number one. And number two, you respect them and let them know that there is indeed a difference between you and them. They are coming to you. They're paying you for your knowledge and for you to instruct them, not the opposite. They're not there to instruct you. If that was the case, their name would be on the school. So again, what makes a good instructor is one who's humble, one who's compassionate, who has a firm hand, one who has respect for not only themselves but for their students as well, and one who has the ability to teach people of all ages and people of virtually all conditions. This is what makes a good instructor. This is Brother Teacher. I'm out.